Hello. Welcome to Masterpiece Theatre.
Hey, what the hell happened?
Some punks jumped us.
Who are you?
Said they were looking for little shih tzus. Then some other punk killed those punks. It's their blood. It's his puke.
You want to go to the bathroom, clean some of the blood and the puke off you?
Okay, Sam Martin. Is that cool, first name basis?
Yeah, cool.
No misters?
Oh, man.
What do you think, Mr. Rockwell?
That's good.
Okay.
I like Senor.
Senor.
Senor?
Yes.
Senor Rockwell.
All right.
The master will do.
So, Sam, what kind of preparation did you do for the film? How many people did you kill?
I do a lot of. I work with a coach, and I see a lot of documentaries and movies, and I worked a lot with Martin beforehand to get on the same page with Martin, and I kind of, it's like a big stew, and I just kind of throw in all these ingredients, and hopefully something lands, you know.
Was there a certain performance that you've seen in a film that kind
You know, there were certain, I think Kathy Bates in Misery comes to mind as far as, I think it's similar in her obsession with James Caan's character and wanting to inspire him to write something.
Right.
For me, I watched her performance, her arc is similar, her emotional arc is similar. She has temper tantrums at times, and my character has temper tantrums, and so it was helpful to watch. I watched the documentary Grizzly Man.
Yeah.
And then there's relationships that are very similar to me and Colin, like
Mean Streets with
Mean Streets, the Harvey Keitel De Niro relationship, the Fisher King, Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, and Hurley Burley, Sean Penn and Chaz Palminteri have a similar relationship that me and Colin have, so that's helpful, you know.
Yeah, great.
But also just reading up on psychopaths and stuff like that too.
You're great at playing these off-kilter personalities.
Thanks, thank you.
I wondered if you look to somebody like Gary Oldman for
Yeah.
inspiration. You
Oh,
remind me
sure.
of him for sure. And
Sure, of course, yeah.
I wondered
We
if you
should do
could tell me
something
how
with
you,
Gary Oldman.
We
Yeah.
should do something with Gary Oldman. Damn right, damn right.
could you just describe yourself as an actor?
Describe myself?
Yeah. How would you
Oh,
describe
that's,
yourself?
I don't know if I can.
Handsome and bewildered.
Yes, I would say, you know, Cary Grant meets George Clooney. No, you know, I just liked, I like the transformational aspect of acting. I like, you know, Dustin Hoffman, Gary Oldman, Sean Penn, and Robert Duvall. I mean, there's some, John Voight, you know, Jeff Bridges. I mean, there's so many, Chris Walken, you know. There's so many people to look up to, you know, obviously De Niro and Schwarzenegger, yeah, right. Holy shit.
I'm a huge movie fan, and there's a ton of great writers I admire. But if I could write like one, I don't give a shit. There's the Coens, Kaufman. I love them all, but I would write like you, Martin.
Hey, that's nice, thank you.
What's your process?
Copying the Coens and Kaufman, really. No, I don't have a treatment for a thing before I start, so I think that helps. I don't know where it's going to go, and I kind of let the story tell itself and have fun with how the characters are surprising me. So, you know, you set up a character like Sam's character in this, and I don't know what he's going to do from scene to scene because it's so peculiar and weird, and that kind of helps in the storytelling, I think. It's each scene is kind of surprising, and if there's a bunch of characters like that, you know, a bunch of kind of oddballs doing crazy stuff, then they're going to take the story to some very weird places, I guess. But also, there's a degree of this film that's kind of, even though it's setting up this 7 psychopaths crazy dog kidnapping plot, it's kind of an genre gangster guys with guns kind of story. It's kind of questioning all that stuff. It's kind of saying, isn't that kind of silly? Can't we be doing something? It's more about Gandhi and peace and love and all that. So it's having those two things at war in one's brain is kind of fun to start off a script with.
Do you allow your actors to improvise?
I kind of write in an improvisational kind of style, but no, we don't really. Sam ad-libs into a scene a little bit, but everything that's on the page is on screen.
I always improvise, but then I always go back to the text with any movie. It's called, paraphrasing is a technique that I use, that Chris Walken does as well, and so sometimes there's a little ad-libbing before a take or after a take, and it's a good way to get into character, to kind of, because to jumpstart a scene, you kind of have to rev up a little,
Right.
So sometimes those are usable and sometimes they're not. Most times they're not, and they shouldn't be used.
Right.
But I do believe in, writing a good script and making, like, I've pored over every line. It's not like some haphazard ideas of what dialogue. All those words are kind of very specific, and I've usually had the script banging around for a couple of years before making it.
Yeah.
So I like playing around with that process too. But then when we all get down to it, it's like we'll stick to the words.
Yeah. Like the continuity thing was just to get me into the vibe.
Yeah.
About a scene where I just started, they were getting me to do something for continuity, and so I just started repeating that word, and that got me.
Continuity, like in a little rabbit kind of voice.
Yeah.
Continuity. But it was still in keeping with his character in that moment. It's because when he's got the poodle and he's doing the funny voice anyway. Right. But then that gets, I think, the funny voice into doing the poodle. With the funny voice.
And then you say the text.
Yeah.
As soon as you get into the vibe, you say the text.
Gotcha.
And that's something that we do in Meisner. It's called repetition, and it's a technique. But all these guys that he cast here, and the women actually, are all pretty rebellious people, mischievous people.
Yeah.
When you look at them, I mean, when you hang out with these guys too, they're all really. There's an anarchist, I think, in all of these people on this poster, and I think that's what we all have in common. There's a mischief there, and so I think Martin knows that and wants, by casting, Ray Fiennes or Brendan Gleeson or Colin or me or Chris Walker, I think he wants that controlled chaos there.
You and Colin, you guys seem to really get along. Was that chemistry natural, or do you guys hang out off set at all?
We did after we started hanging out. We became friends, but it happened pretty quick. The chemistry thing is something you can't explain. You either get along or you don't.
But we drove off to, I remember a couple of months before we started shooting, we drove off to Joshua Tree National Park to spend the weekend. 3 guys hanging out, hot tub, and it was that was kind of good for just getting us on the same page and getting us kind of friendly. And so we just went to a bar and played pool, and then we read the script the next day.
Yeah.
Hungover as hell.
Yeah, we were.
Two of us. Colin
smoked too many cigarettes, and we drank too much tequila.
Yeah, and Belgian beers.
Bad
combo.
Right.
That was a rough day. Yeah, but we did some good work the next day.
Yeah,
as I remember.
And that's kind of. That kind of, and so Colin, it was just the 3 of us. Colin drove us to the desert and drove us back. So just the process of that's when Colin bought the hat for Sam that we used in the film too.
Oh, right.
I think we watched The Fisher King too. Did we watch some of The Fisher King, or we watched something else? Yeah.
Nice.
So that kind of helps, I guess, bond, and I think the amount that everyone kind of likes each other and respects each other is kind of palpable, I think, on screen. I mean, Woody's playing the villain. But Woody's such a fun, lovely guy too. So it's almost too much fun at times, I guess.
Yeah. So Martin, your movies are filled with violence, but they're also filled with a lot of humor. So, what are you trying to say with the violence? Are you trying to soften the blow with the humor?
No, I think I'm both in Bruges and this. I'm kind of questioning the violence, and I mean, in Bruges it's all about the guilt of a decent man who's committed a terrible crime. So in that sense, the violence is only there to illustrate the sadness of that story. In this, it's, I guess, the bigger picture is a commentary on, the Hollywood guys with guns genre. It's and questioning, does a film have to just be that? Does it have to? Is it all about car chases and shootouts, or can it be something a little bit more intelligent or decent, or you know, is there a higher or a smarter place to get to? Not in some kind of highfalutin, preachy kind of way, but I think I'd have a hard time to make a film that's just about violence and guns, and both films I think are a comment on that.
Do you watch a lot of movies? What are your favorite movies you've seen this year?
Well, last year Tyrannosaur was one that I really enjoyed, and I love Peter Mullen. I think is a great actor. And
He is.
Patty Considine, who's also a great actor, directed that. And
The Master this year, I think we both
The
loved.
Master, yeah. I mean, Phil and Joaquin, just kicked it. You know,
Yeah, amazing.
kicked its ass. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Martin, what stood out to you besides The Master? Anything this year?
I think that's the best I've seen for quite some time. This year. What else has been on this year?
What else is great? Did you see Looper?
I liked it. I saw it last night. I loved it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
great stuff.
The Master was the one that really, you know, if you're a writer and director, you kind of hope that your contemporaries are really good, but not good enough so you can beat them all. But that one was like, I was watching that and thinking, that's just too good. You bastard. P.T. Henson, you.
Yeah, where does he get off?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Doing something that's brilliant.
What do you want for Christmas?
Well, I've been working on this film for like 2 straight years. I just want beach vacations and loads of sex.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I concur.
Sounds good.
We can
Beach
forget it.
vacations.
Cool. All right,
Beach
thanks.
vacations and lots of sex. I'll be actually going to be on the same beach.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. That's all right.
I'm just going to be like,
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Congratulations
Thanks a lot.
on the movie.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
I almost got killed today because you kidnapped the wrong dog.
Are you being serious? Wow. What are we gonna do?
We could take on all the bad guys, maybe in the desert.
And what do you think we should do in real life? How you doing? What's your name? Shut up. We'll get you back to your daddy in a day or two. Don't be sad. Pa. No, Pa. That's okay, too.
I gotta pull myself together, I know, but my dog's gonna end up killed.
You're not pulling yourself together, are you?
You've got to give it back.
Give it back? You don't just give back a kidnapped dog. Defeats the entire object of the kidnapping.
Put your hands up. No, but I've got a gun. I don't care. It doesn't make any sense. Too bad.
I'm going to work.
Are you pissed at me for something, baby?
Why would I be pissed at you, Manny?
Because you're a killie. You waiting for somebody, old guy?
No.
Okay, you seem normal. Come on in. We gotta get this dog off the street because it's kidnapped from a maniac.
Dandy. I like it. It's got layers. Yeah. An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
No, it doesn't. There'll be one guy left with one eye. How's the last blind guy gonna take out the eye of the last guy left?
thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Cheers, that's fun.
Pauly Shore and Schwarzenegger are going to come beat us up.